Hello, everybody. Welcome to second episode to the Seasons podcast. Here in this platform, me, Tom, and Sven, we're trying to tell our story, share some knowledge, and hopefully you can get something out of this. So yeah, let's roll the intro.
Welcome back. We're really excited to have you come and watch the second episode of our podcast. And so now our topic today will revolve around several things, and let's just start off by asking you, what do you think about the future and the past?
The future and the past.
Your future and the past.
When I think about my past, I feel very proud of myself. And I don't know. There has been so much in the past, but I think that all that stuff that happened helped me grow as a person and make me who I am today. And when I think about the future, I'm extremely anxious about it. Like it's so uncertain. It's so hard to grasp. You don't have a clear image of where you're going. You know, I'm a finance guy, or I don't know if that has to do with it, but I prefer to do things based on like a blueprint, a structure, a step by step. And I think that when I think about the future, I don't have that step by step guide. Like, who is it to tell me you do this 1, 2, 3 and you'll be successful or you'll be happy in your life, right? And well, that topic goes a long way because what is successful, what is happiness is very subjective to everybody.
Right. Yeah. Because you can't track your growth like, oh, my sales grew by 25%.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm trying to do that, implement some of the stuff I'm doing at work to my personal life, do some like personal budgeting, like, hey, so I'm saving 10% more this month, you know. I'm making progress into this. I should spend less in food. I spend a lot of food. But
that's good stuff.
So I believe that what's is measured can be improved. Everything that is measured can be improved. But when it comes to the future, how do you quantify that? How do you picture that? It's just that creates a lot of anxiety, and I'm a very anxious person whenever it comes to this kind of topic. Like, I feel like I'm wasting time. What am I doing to go to that future? You know, it's such a hard thing to grasp in my head.
So something interesting about like what you're saying, like you can easily write down like what is quantifiable, but then what are some things that you want to improve on, but like you can't measure it?
Ooh. What is something that I can improve on and can't measure?
I was thinking about it when you were talking about bringing the experience, the things that you learned at your current work. Then you're bringing some stuff home about your personal budgeting. But what are some things that are hard to measure?
Hard to measure. I mean, when I think about other stuff than just personal finance and what I do on a daily basis, some of the things I feel like I can measure, but not with exact number, but at least I don't know how to describe it. Like my hobbies, right? I'm learning how to play piano. I'm practicing on a weekly basis, and I'm trying to play at least like 15 minutes every day. So at least, you know, I'm learning or practicing something or creating those connections in my neurons, so it's easier for me to play, let's say, blindfolded or something, right? But I have a measurement on that, because after a month I can be like, oh, I learned one song, I can play one song good, I can play 2 songs now, and that, so on and so on. But I think like when you talk about something that it's unmeasurable, for me, the first thing that comes to head will be a topic of like, how satisfied am I with myself? How happy am I at this current moment? Which I'm never satisfied. I am barely happy at the times, like unless I'm like, it's hard for me to be in the moment, and that's one thing that I've been working with one of my personal coaches, and it's hard for me to be in the present, you know. And one of the things that I learned through my personal coach is that uh, there's this one statement that really impacts me. Like, it says that people that are depressed, they live in the past. People that are anxious, they live in the future. And people that are truly happy, they live in the present.
That's deep.
Yeah, and that middle point is the one that I can't figure out, you know.
The living in the present and being happy.
Yeah, living in the present. Like, I feel like if I am, there are few moments that I'm truly in the present, like when I go to the movies and I watch a really good movie with my friends, with my loved one, with my girlfriend, you know, and I'm truly enjoying it, and I don't think about anything else other than the plot of the movie, the character, the acting, the details, you know, everything that amazed me, and that's what sees me at the moment. And but other things like playing music, playing guitar, playing piano, I don't think about anything else. I'm playing Fortnite too, video games. I love it. But besides from that, my head is just constantly working, like in a state of just trying to see what I can do to improve on something, you know. Like, if I'm not working on something, I feel like I'm wasting my time. If I'm not doing something that I enjoy, I'm wasting my time. What can I do to be a better Eddie on for tomorrow or in a week or a month, you know? And sometimes that anxiety leads to procrastination, and at the end of the day, I get like 10% of what I wanted to do done. So it's a very complex topic. I'm been suffering from that like for a long time. I'm trying to be better. You might think that I'm working 24/7. I might just work like 2 or 3 hours extra.
Right.
Not much, you know.
I do go through the same situation. I do know what you're feeling right now because at times, or let's say most of the time, I'm aware that like when I look back, I'm a lazy motherfucker. I realize that, and I know that I have to do something about it, and I think this goes along with our motivation level. So, how would you motivate yourself usually? And when it works, how did it work for you?
So through my personal coaching, I've learned a lot about myself and also a lot about this motivation topic. And I found out that a lot of my motivations were kind of like negative motivations, such as expectations that people or my family put onto me, you know. I'm the eldest son in the family, not only in my core family, but also like in the whole Chow family, you know, all my cousins, everybody, it's like younger than me. And, you know, in the Asian culture, since you're the eldest, you kind of like have to put on that role model.
People expect you.
Oh, so much shit, bro.
Yeah.
And when you have those expectations, you have a pressure to fulfill those. And
certainly.
Incredibly, when I was younger, I was pretty smart. Still pretty smart. No, just kidding. I was pretty smart. Yeah. I'm still pretty smart, and I feel like I'm kissing my own ass. But okay, never mind. So I was pretty smart. I was doing great in elementary school up to high school and everything. And I even went back to China to study. I learned the language very quickly compared to my other cousins, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, Eddie, you're so smart. You're like the prodigy or some shit. Like, you're gonna be great and you're gonna do good in life." And I'm like, okay, so I didn't think much about it. As long as I'm getting good grades at school, everybody will be happy, right? And the only problem is that once you start slowly stepping into the real world, it's like, how can I do something that it's equivalent to good grades in school, but in real life now, right? And I had one talk with my uncles when I was in the ending freshman year of my college. They're like, if you want to be well, in Chinese they say like a good boy, you have to you have to make a lot of money. Only by making a lot of money, you show that you are smart, you're capable, and you are like the pride of the family. And that's something that I've been thinking and thinking as like, and I've set up goals for myself. Like, I want to become millionaire by my 30s. That's still one of my goals. I know that it's influenced by my relatives and everything, but that has become a personal goal of myself. But I understand that comes from an external source. A lot of all this motivation, this negative motivation, this pressure that is coming in is because people are putting things onto me, and it's not something that came from deep inside me. Like if I truly wanted to be happy, I would like to become a basketball player, which is kind of impossible now, and or follow my music career or something like that. It's things that I truly enjoyed during high school, but I put on the baggage. I carry on the baggage now. I studied business. I like it. It's pretty cool, but it's not something that I would say that, oh, I love as much as I love music. It's
Yes.
not, and I think so. Going back to the topic of motivation, those are negative motivations that were present in my life. There are many more, but that's the main one. And through my personal coaching sessions, my coach, he told me like trying to find something that motivates you deep inside, something that gives you peace. And I was thinking about it, and he made me like reflect about a memory or something deep inside me that truly brought me happiness. And it was this image, one event that I had in the past. It was in the same year, in that like ending freshman year, and I was in Panama with my family. We went to kind of like a farm. Everybody was there chilling. My uncles were playing like Chinese dominoes. My
Mahjong?
Huh?
Mahjong?
Yeah, mahjong. Yeah. Chinese dominoes.
Oh my god, that's a long way.
And my aunties were like cooking and everything, and the kids were playing. Well, I was part of the kids playing, but they were like younger kids playing, and we went to the we went to the river, and it was to play. I think it's a very rural thing to do, but it's so much fun, and those are one of the events that I want to relive and recreate in my life. And just thinking about that, like, I want to be the provider. I want to be the facilitator for those kind of events where families just gathering together, being happy, enjoying their time. Nothing else in the world it's bothering them. Money, political issues, social issues. Not just that beautiful moment. And that's what is that I've through my coaching sessions, I've finally found one of my truly positive motivations that it's driving me with kind of like with a positive energy, being happy, being I don't know how to describe it, but being optimistic about it instead of just when you have a negative motivator, it's just like, okay, I had to do it. Like, my mom is expecting me to get a grade A, but I don't like studying.
That is external.
Exactly. And it's a negative one. It's like, it makes you sad. Yes, you accomplished something, but it's not something that it's coming from deep inside you.
Yeah, that is.
So I don't know if that answers your question.
It does answer the question about motivation. From my side, how I think about motivation, I started thinking about it recently. Last week, it happened to me while I was at the gym, because I was late to a personal trainer session, and I thought to myself, oh my God, how can I be this late? How can I not be more responsible? And then the thought struck me about motivation, because like, so eventually in the end, I want to, the way I think about motivation is that you're responsible to 3 people, and that's you, and you.
Oh,
So, 1, you in your past, you right now, and you in the future. So the way I think about it is like, when I am procrastinating, the thing is like it's hard to snap out, but then when I snap out, I think about it this way. So you right now, you're procrastinating, I'm playing games right now. I'm just watching YouTube videos, not actually doing what my past wants, because by procrastinating and by not delivering to like whoever, your work, your significant other, your family, your friends, if you don't deliver, you are dishonoring. It's a funny way for me to put it. You are dishonoring where your future self might be, and you are denying your past self of achieving this future image. That is like one of the ways that I thought about, like, oh, because I want to work, I want to learn coding, and I want to involve business and coding in my work. But then for now, I'm not coding. I'm not learning coding. I've been procrastinating. I've been playing games, which is, I gotta snap out of that. But that's
join the Fortnite community.
That is one way I wouldn't do it. That's one of the ways that I think about, like, because I realize that truly my only enemy is me. Because if I want to be someone, the only reason why I can't be that someone is because of my lazy ass. My lazy ass and my excuses. And like, it is acceptable to procrastinate, because as humans, like, all animals are lazy, and so are humans. But then I try to make myself realize that there are certain boundaries to which you can only do things, and then like I have to do this work. I have to open these many websites and look at the coding guides and whatever. And despite all the despite all the tough jobs that you have to do, the things that, like, it's hard, because like when someone tells you to work and you're not happy about it, but then it's your work, you still have to dive down on that. And even though I have the realization, like, okay, there's 3 U's, I'm responsible to myself, and then I eventually start working. Like, I open my book, for example. I don't know how to hold my own head under the water and just like, okay, let's do this. Let's get this through. How do you do things that you are not comfortable or happy with?
So hold that question.
Okay.
When you were talking about that, the thing about you have 3 people that you're hold responsible for.
Yeah.
And you said you and you. Yeah, that kind of shocked me. That's why I got like, oh shit. I was expecting you to say like family, friends, or something else.
I mean, eventually you'd be responsible to them, but then that's indirectly.
Yes. And I feel like when you talk about the thing that you are responsible for yourself, you're dishonoring your past self and possibly dishonoring your future self as well. I feel like the way you put it and the way that you're thinking about it, it's possibly like a negative type of motivator that you're putting on yourself, you know? Like, oh, fuck, I didn't do this shit. And my future self is gonna hate me. This is so shitty, you know, and you feel horrible and you procrastinate more, and this just vicious cycles just go in. I feel like in the same way that I was only looking this type of negative motivators, and you should start also looking for positive type of motivators. And I think in what you said, I feel like the way to switch that up or to kind of change that up, it will be like think of yourself, not that you're dishonoring yourself, but I don't know how to explain it.
No worries.
Yeah. So let's I have a story, and I think that can probably explain it better. There's this, I saw one video on Instagram of this actor, the guy, I don't know his name, he won an Oscar. Shame to me for not knowing his name, but but it's the guy from Wall Street, Wolf of Wall Street, that is saying,
Leonardo DiCaprio.
No, DiCaprio. I obviously know his name. What the fuck? No, the guy that he mentored DiCaprio in the restaurant, the one that yeah.
That guy, yeah.
What? I don't know. Search it up, yeah. So the guy that is that guy. So he, when he won his Oscar or Emmys, Grammys, I don't. Okay, Matthew McConaughey. Okay, let's call him Matthew. Matt. Yeah. Okay.
He's a teacher right now in Texas UT.
Oh wow. Enroll to Texas UT, guys. So he gave this speech and said, like, somebody asked him, like, hey, who's your hero? Who's your role model? And he's like, oh, my role model or my hero is myself from 10 years from now. And it's like 10 years pass, and the guy won an Oscar, did this and did that. He's a great actor. He has a successful career. The same friend came back to him and asked him, like, hey, so now it's 10 years already, you know, so who's your hero now? He's like, oh, my hero is still myself from 10 years from now, or 5 years. I don't remember the exact number. But it's like that story and that way of thinking about how you're held responsible to yourself, I think it's a more positive way to think, rather than just be like, oh, I didn't do shit. My future self is gonna fuck me up, you know, or something. If we met each other right now, we'll be kind of like, you know, square up. But think more yourself of like 5 year from now, me, my future self from 5 year from now, he's my hero. I want to do everything for him to be proud of me. You know, he'll look back and it's like, Tom, future Tom, it's like, I'm proud of you. You are doing such a great job. Keep it up. Don't procrastinate. Take a break if you need. Everybody needs a break, you know. It's, as you said, we are lazy in nature. We need a break. There's just so much limited energy mentally and physically that we can provide into doing completing a task or achieving a goal. You know, give yourself a break and then just keep onto it, and then 5 years from now you'll look back and you'll see like, shit, I did a lot. Am I the hero that I wanted to be? Yeah, that I wanted to be 5 years ago. Probably not, but you got somewhere, you know. Right. Yeah. Like in the same way, I think that once you have that goal in your mind, that picture in your mind of you yourself being a hero, I think you have a little bit more direction of what you want to get in life in the future. You know, you can be an analogy. You can be a Ferrari, and you can drive as fast, like 100 miles per hour or whatever, and I'm driving my Honda Civic. But you as a Ferrari, you don't have a goal, you don't have a something that you want to achieve. You can drive as fast as you want, but you'll get nowhere. While I'm chilling in my Honda Civic, driving slow, enjoying the The word just escaped
The
from my
traffic?
brain. Not how you're gonna enjoy the traffic. I'm saying
You don't enjoy the traffic.
the picture, the ¿cómo se dice paisaje?
Landscape.
The landscape, the like you're driving in Yosemite. The
Uh-huh.
traffic. What the fuck? Nobody enjoys traffic. But anyways, it's like I have my somewhere that I'm gonna get, right? So I'm driving, chilling, and eventually I get there. Compare you and in your Ferrari, you're just like driving around, no goal, no direction, you get nowhere. So I feel like putting yourself as a hero, having figure out your goals as you go in life, little by little. You don't have to figure everything out at the moment, like at once, but I think that helps a lot as a positive motivator for you to get back to work, get back to the gym, get back into doing anything that you really put yourself into doing it, right?
Okay. That's
So-
fairly interesting because I've never really discovered my positive motivator, but only recently did I discover my negative motivator. What is it called? Negative motivator.
Yeah, negative motivator, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, why don't you picture yourself? So let's say that your goal is, no, not your goal, like your task is to go to the gym, you know. Why don't you picture yourself, not even 5 years, a year from now, you'll be having six-pack, huge shoulders,
Huge facts. Stuff, yeah.
like a big ass chest and shit. Like, why don't you picture that and be like, okay, let's grind this shit. Let's go to the gym and then put on all the work that we need, you know, even though you can only kind of like not resist, like not support, ¿cómo dice soportar?
Handle.
Yeah, like you're like our official translator here, Spensioka.
The words
What up?
from the three of us. Giving you the vocabulary.
So there's just so much like physical activity you can handle per day, right? Just 1 hour or two, or even 2.5 if you want. But you did your quota of the day, and you the next day just go back in, picture yourself like, you know, being super fit, and then just keep on that positive motivator going on, you know. I feel like that's a better way of just being like, I did nothing today, you know.
So like a future you with the ideal image supporting you.
Yes, exactly. Concluded perfectly. The
Okay.
reason why I'm learning to play piano, it's like I want to be that guy that it's kind of like, you know, I love music first of all, but I used to play a lot of like guitar. I learned some drums here and there, but I also want to go into more classy space, you know. I think like piano, it's a great way to step into it. Like, you know, probably in the future I'm in a private concert, me in my tuxedo and playing piano for like 1,000 people or something, you know. It's a good way to imagine and putting yourself like, shit, okay, let's practice piano now.
I like if you I'm not sure, but like have you had a piano? Do you do tutors?
Tutors?
Yeah. Do you learn with tutors or do you just
No,
learn purely online?
online, yeah. I
Okay.
pay for a website where there's this guy that just teach you songs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But my time to practice and play, it's very limited because of work and everything.
Yeah.
But at least I'm putting it my daily or weekly quota that I'm setting myself to, right?
Yeah. I think I should follow that way. Like that's a very good quota of like, hey, my goal is to be good at piano. I put my quota to learn, to put in 30 minutes every day to learn piano. I think that's the same way that I could do with
Coding, like
reading books. I need to read books.
I do that as well. Like I've been procrastinating my books as well, but it's like, okay, when I go to sleep, I started reading like 2 pages, 3 pages, 4, and now, well, I'm not that advanced yet, but you know, I'm getting there.
Yeah.
Working into it, you know. I'm constantly seeking knowledge, so I also watch, okay, so I'm gonna want to finish this documentary about the food industry and stuff like that. So I set myself a quota like, okay, I watch 20 minutes of this today, and then I do this and blah blah blah. You know.
Right. Yeah. Do you have a schedule? Do you use a calendar to schedule your day to the minute?
I should, but I don't.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen videos about it, like this celebrity's name, I forgot him. I'm terrible with names. Mark Wahlberg. It says
Yes, Mark Wahlberg,
Yeah.
the guy in Transformers.
Yes.
Yeah, yes.
And he's I saw a video about him with what's this guy in the comedy show that does the karaoke carpool?
The fat one.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that guy, I think I know what you mean, the karaoke guy.
Yeah,
I've seen his
yeah,
video. I've seen some of his videos.
Yeah, he's funny as fuck. So he made this video where he worked out with Mark Wahlberg, and he had like the schedule, like to the hour of what he does every day. He wakes up at like 4. I don't remember it specifically, but he meditates, then go to gym, breakfast, gym again, I guess, work. I know he leaves the kids to the school, whatever. He has everything scheduled to the day, and he accomplishes so much. He's like 40, 50 years old. What, I don't know, but
James Corden, the guy you're talking about.
James Corden, yeah, the comedian James Corden. So
Like 47, 50.
yeah, Mark Wahlberg, it's kind of old, but he's still fit as fuck, you know.
He is.
So it's like he's been doing his shit, you know. He's been accomplishing little things every day that accumulated to, like, you know, a healthy lifestyle that he's having right now. The big chest, the 6-pack and shit. So yeah, I think that I should, but at the moment I just have too much stuff on my table I need to handle, like some life events that I need to deal with and stuff. So as long as that is out of the, you know, the picture, I feel like I can start doing more and more of that. So you say that you recently discovered your negative motivator. Why don't we dig deeper into what can be your positive motivator?
Yeah, sure. We can do that. Yeah.
Before we step into that, I have a question for you, and this question I got it from a therapist that I met like 3 years ago or something. It was a networking event, and he made an intro for like a startup pitching competition, and he talked about like how the personal stories influence people, the founders, to start their companies, and every startup has its own life story into that. And I just went up to talk to him. I'm like, hey, so what do you do? I really like your intro and everything. And it's like he's a therapist or a psychologist. I don't know. What was he?
Psychotherapist.
Probably.
Yeah. Okay.
So I asked him. So at the time I was having like a personal crisis. I was like, hey, how can I be happy? Like, I'm never satisfied with what I'm doing. I'm very ambitious. I'm very hungry. Let's say if I, for some reason, I become the president of Ecuador in the next decade or so, I will still be seeking for more, you know?
Right.
So a better example would be like, if I become the mayor, I'll be like, I want to become the president. And I will never be happy, even at the moment when I elected as a mayor, you know? It's like, okay, now I need to aim for something higher. I need to do something better. I'm never happy. I'm never satisfied. I was so lost in my life because I didn't know why. I didn't even know why I decided to study business, you know? It's like I just chose it, again, because of my parents, my relative. I'm like, what am I doing? And how can I truly be present in the moment and be happy? So he asked me these questions, and I want to ask you. So if your past self from what does the past Tom of 5 years ago think of the present Tom? You can tell me all your story. What is he proud of? What have your present self achieved that past Tom will be like, holy shit, that's my man, you know, that's my hero.
I think that my past self will be very, very proud that I have become such a confident person a person who can converse well and speak properly. Because my past self, even like my past self 5 years ago, that would mean me in the 11th grade as part of the international baccalaureate program. During that time, I had different hobbies, but then like I think the past myself self would be proud of being a better speaker, and I would say by being wiser, and wiser than my past self was, a better listener, and a person who can think for himself.
I want to put at one point. I feel like one thing that your past self will be so impressed and amazed by your present self is the fact that you are dancing now. You know, you started taking hip hop classes. You are much more confident with your body language, with your own body as well. Since dancing, you have to like look at how you move and everything.
Yes, totally, yes.
So at the beginning, I guess it was awkward as fuck, right?
Very awkward, yeah.
I don't even do hip hop dance, and I'll be like, oh shit, if I step into that, I'll be like afraid or scared, you know. But I think like you have gained a lot of confidence through dancing, and I feel like that's something that your past self would have never thought of that you could achieve. And I think because from the brief history of you that I know, it's like you like to play piano, you like to sing, but you never step into this zone of like, you know, engaging your body and showing it, you know. I guess you weren't that confident on it, and I feel like your past self would be so proud of you of that specific thing from what I see.
That is a very good point too, because like my hobby back then was basketball, but basketball was more like because my friends did it, and then like basketball compared to dance, both of them are fun, but like I think what dance really helped me was like helped me a lot with my confidence in a way that basketball does not. Partly because I am a support player. I know, like, because in basketball you're a part of a team, you're part of like a bigger group. I used to love Kevin Durant and LeBron.
That's so conflicting. It's like a yin and yang. It's either you like LeBron or you like Kevin Durant, you know.
Yeah.
No, but I get where he's coming from.
This was when LeBron had his full team in Miami Heat. LeBron, Wade, Bosh, Charmer, and then the Thunders had everyone from Westbrook, Harden, Cephalosha,
and the Miami Heat,
Perkins, and Durant. Yeah.
And the Heat beat the Thunder.
Yeah, that was like the peak of my basketball fan. But like basketball didn't give me as much confidence in myself.
I think, as you say, because you were a part of a team, you were a support role, but now that you're dancing, you're like the main shit of your own show, you know?
Yes. Yes, that's a very good way to report it, because like in basketball, you're responsible to many things. Your team, your captain, the hoop. You gotta defend the hoop and score the hoop. But in dance, you're responsible. Like, okay, you're responsible as a learner, but then like that's. And at the end result, when you're finally performing the last set, like the last repeats, the last reps, that's on you. And then when you do good, like it feels really good when you kill it, and like, oh yes. That's a very good way to put it. Thanks for bringing it up.
So how you feel right now? If past Tom was here looking at you, and he's saying like he's proud of you, he's happy of what you're accomplished. How do you feel now? Like what from deep inside you?
I will feel very excited. I'd feel very warm that like my past self accepts me for who I am now, because in the past I had like a different set of like my wants, because I was supposed to continue my family business, but I did not. Now I'm able to do this many things. Like when my past self says you did a great job, keep working, I'll feel like really good. But then I would work harder because I know that someone, but then
it's looking up to you.
Yeah, I believe I'd work harder because someone looks up to me, and even more so because that someone who looks up to me is my past self.
Yeah,
my past self.
So now grasp that feeling And why don't we duplicate that feeling with copy that feeling and put it, instead of your present self and your past self, put it in your present self and your future self.
Put it in my present self and my future self.
Yeah, so you want your future self feel the same way that your present self is feeling now. Warm, happy that somebody's looking up to him. You know,
Yeah.
grasp that feeling and and think about the stuff, or picture your future self. Where is he? What he's doing now? Anything, and put in effort to do all those things that your future self will have the same feeling that you have right now. You want your future self to be happy, content, satisfied of what your present self has helped throughout all those years, process, hard work, grind. You went through all that to get to your future self. And I think that goes back to the analogy of being like the 5 years from the future self of you from 5 years from now is your hero, is your role model. You gotta look up to him, and he's gonna look back at your present self, and say like, hey Tom, thank you for everything that you've done. Thank you for your hard work. You made what I am today. And I feel like that's the most positive way of looking into that that statement that you said, like, you're responsible for you and you, right? Instead of just, oh, I didn't do shit, and just beating yourself up for nothing. I feel like that's a way better way to looking into it. Right. Oh, yeah. Last thing. The therapist also said one last thing besides from that, like, you know, in the same way you need to replicate that feeling with the future self. When the journey that you're gonna endure or take from your present self to your future self, it's gonna be hard, but always hard and long probably, but always enjoy the process. And that enjoying the process part is where you get to be present and happy of what you're doing. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm gonna, like, for me, right, I know I'm gonna be rich. I know I'm gonna accomplish things. I'm gonna be successful. But I always go back to the feeling, to the thought when I'm feeling anxious, like, okay, enjoy the process, relive a little bit, give yourself a break, go out for dinner with your friends, or go party with your friends, or do anything, you know. Obviously get your work done, like, you know, work hard, play hard, but always having that thought of like, enjoy the process and be happy at the moment, be present. Because that happiness, at least for me, it's so hard to kind of like invoke.
Just really happy about
your
our discussion.
Was there anything on your mind that you wanted to add?
I feel like I'm realizing that, like, from like how you pointed out, like, positive motivators and negative motivators, and I thought about it, and then, like, I'm hard on myself in a way when I don't do things that I expect myself to do.
Me too. Me too. When I'm wasting time doing some random shit, watching YouTube videos and stuff, I beat myself up afterwards, and then I don't know, I feel sad, I feel angry, and I don't want to do anything else. It's just a vicious cycle. But you have to find a way to break through that,
Right.
and the only way to do that, at least for me, is to kind of like tuning into those feelings, into that positive motivator that you have, and be like, okay, yeah, let's do some shit, you know, let's make shit happen. So yeah.
Just really glad, like, how deep our conversations can be.
Yeah, man, I'm really truly enjoying this podcast. But yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the second episode of Seasons Podcast. I'm Eddie.
I'm Tom.
And I'm Sven.
Thank you for watching us and listening to us.
Yeah, we recently created our social media, so follow us on Facebook, Instagram, And do we have anything other social media? No, yeah, just Facebook and Instagram. And you can find us at The Seasons Podcast on both platforms. So check us out. Oh yeah, and also YouTube. Yeah, it's the same. The Seasons Podcast. If you're listening to us through YouTube, just give us a subscribe.
Give us
and
some
turn
love.
in the little. I don't know how the YouTubers do that. Turn in the little bell ring thing, so you know whenever.
The notification button.
Yeah, the notification button. Thank you, sir. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today, but yeah. Thank you for listening. Peace out.
Thank you. Peace out. Yo.